Okay, so this problem 13, I wound up tossing out. There's really no reason other than just I was afraid it was just a hard problem and people had trouble with it, which was true. But it really, it's a problem. We did some like this in class. Anyway, you add the 3 over because you have to set it to 0, but then you have to get a common denominator. So you have x minus 2 over x minus 3. And you're going to add 3 times x minus 3. Now, why is that? Because you're multiplying by x minus 3 over x minus 3. 3, not a 4. Okay, and that's to get that common denominator. All right, and this is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so when we work out the numerator, we get x minus 2 plus 3x minus 9 over x minus 3. Alrighty. And then we're going to combine like terms. We get 4x minus 11 over x minus 3. Greater than or equal to 0. I think maybe it was the fraction that I was worried, oh, people are going to get this wrong because of the fraction, but really we should be able to do the fractions. Okay. The critical values come from if the numerator is 0, okay, that would be at 3. So 1, 2, 3. And we can't have it equal to 3 because we can't have the denominator be 0. So we're not going to include the 3. Even though this is greater than or equal to, we still can't have it equal 0 because of the denominator. Then we look at the numerator and what makes the numerator 0. Well, it winds up being 11/4. Now, what is 11/4? Well, it's not quite 3, is it? So it's like right before there. I think maybe that's why I threw this one out, because you'd have to think of a number between 11/4 and 3, okay? And we can include the 11/4. So yeah, okay. So we pick a test value. You plug in 0. Where can we do this? 4x minus 11 over x minus 3. Is that greater than or equal to 0? So if I put in 0, I'm going to get a negative 11 over a negative 3. Is that greater than or equal to 0? Yes, because it's positive. So yes. Now, how am I going to pick a number between 11/4 and 3? I think what I did was I just used a calculator and put in like 2.9. And what happens is you're going to get a positive in the numerator, but a negative in the denominator, because you're going to have more than 11, okay? And so that's not going to work. That's not greater than or equal to 0, so no. Actually, that was what, 0.1 negative? Okay, so, but it's negative, and that's the thing. You could have picked another number. I did 2.9, but you could convert 4/11 to a fraction. I think it's 2.75. So you have to pick something in between there. Anyway, we kind of suspected the answer would be no in that section. It's a really small section. Now we want to pick a big number like 4. That's going to give you like a positive in the numerator and a positive in the denominator. And yes, that will work. So you're going to get the sections between negative infinity and 11/4, and you're going to include the 11/4, union with 3 to infinity. Yeah, it was that fraction that really caused the problems, I think, but anyway. All right, now we have an absolute value equation. When it's an equation, there are two cases. Either the absolute value stuff, which is x minus 8, equals negative 14, or the absolute value stuff, x minus 8, equals positive 14. You add 8 to both sides, you're going to get x equals negative 6. You add 8 to both sides, you're going to get x equals 22. Two distinct answers. This is a solution set, and you get negative 6 and 22. All right. This one is a less than, an absolute value less than. So I always tell students, make a less than sandwich. Put negative 12 on the one side, your absolute value stuff in the middle, and then the positive 12 on the right-hand side. And those are going to be less thans. You can add 4 to all 3 sections. That's a negative 8 is less than 2x is less than 16. Divide all 3 sections by 2. And you get negative 4 is less than x is less than 8. So what's the answer? Well, you want the values between negative 4 and 8. If you were to graph it, think about 0 being here and negative 4 and 8. You want all the numbers that are between there. It's a between thing. And so the interval notation should look like this. And there you go.